Ladies and gentlemen, today is not just another day, it's a defining moment. 2025 isn't just another year, it's your year. A year where you step beyond past failures, doubts, and distractions and step into the person you were always meant to be. Today, I'm going to share with you 7 principles to help you rebuild yourself and create a life that reflects your greatest potential. You have got to stop making excuses for why you aren't where you want to be. That's the hard truth. The biggest thing standing between you and the life you dream about is not your lack of time, money, or talent. It's the stories you tell yourself about why you can't do it. Every time you say, "I'm too old," "I don't have enough time," or "I've failed too many times," you are reinforcing a cage that only you have the power to break free from. It's time to burn those bridges to your past excuses and step into the future you deserve. Your past is not a prophecy, it's a lesson. The only reason you should ever look back is to learn, not to make excuses. If you spend your life staring in the rearview mirror, you will crash. There is a reason the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror, because where you are going is so much more important than where you've been. But most people don't get that. They spend their time replaying past mistakes, reliving failures, and convincing themselves they live as if their past is a weight they have to carry forever. But the truth? The past is only heavy if you choose to keep holding on to it. Put it down. Let it go. Walk forward. Think about Thomas Edison. The man failed 1,000 times before perfecting the light bulb. 1,000 times. Imagine if he had told himself, "Maybe I should quit." Imagine if he had let his failures define him. You wouldn't be sitting here today under these bright lights. The only difference between Edison and the people who never succeed is that he refused to be imprisoned by his failures. He burned his bridges to excuses and moved forward relentlessly until he created something that changed the world. If he could do that, so can you. But let's be real. Burning your excuses isn't easy. It's going to be uncomfortable. You've spent years, maybe even decades, building a home in your comfort zone. And every time you've failed, every time life has knocked you down, you've added another brick to the walls that keep you playing small. But here's the thing. Comfort is the enemy of progress. If you want something different, you have to do something different. You have to be willing to leave behind the familiar lies you've told yourself and step into the unknown. Fear will try to stop you. It will whisper in your ear, "What if you fail again?" But here's what you need to understand. Failure is not the enemy, it's the path. Every person who has ever accomplished something great has failed many times. The difference is they didn't let those failures stop them. They saw failure as feedback, not as a reason to quit. They burned their excuses, refused to look back, and kept going. And that's exactly what you need to do. Look at your life right now. Where are you making excuses? Where are you telling yourself a story that keeps you stuck? Is it your job, your relationships, your dreams? Identify it, call it out, and then make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Decide that you are done letting your past dictate your future. Decide that you are done living in fear. Decide that you will not be the person who looks back at their life with regret because they let excuses win. The moment you make that decision, something shifts. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's power. Because when you burn your excuses, you free yourself to take action. And action is the only thing that will ever create change. Not thinking about it, not wishing for it, not waiting for the perfect moment, just action. One step, then another and another, until one day you look around and realize you have built the life you once only dreamed about. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the excuses you're holding on to. Let them go. Burn the bridges to your past. Step forward and never, ever look back. Your thoughts are the architects of your future. Think about that for a moment. Everything you have, everything you experience, everything you become, it all starts in your mind. If you allow doubt to plant its roots, it will grow into a fortress that traps you in a cycle of fear, hesitation, and self-sabotage. But if you choose to cultivate belief, if you water the seeds of confidence, you will build a foundation so strong that no challenge, no setback, no failure will be able to break you. Most people spend their lives shackled by an invisible cage, a prison built not by circumstances, but by their own limiting beliefs. They tell themselves, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve success. I'll never reach my goals. And you know what? The mind listens. The mind is always listening. It takes those words and carves them into reality. But here's the truth. You are not your doubts. You are not your fears. You are the creator of your destiny, and at any moment, you have the power to rewrite the script. Science proves this. Neuroscientists have discovered that our brains are not fixed. Through the power of neuroplasticity, we can rewire the way we think, break old patterns, and build new neural pathways that align with the life we want. This means that if you've spent years drowning in negativity, it does not have to define you. It does not have to be your future. You can make a choice right here, right now, to shift the way you think, to speak to yourself with love, with confidence, with certainty, because the words you repeat to yourself every single day shape who you become. Imagine waking up every morning and choosing to say, I am capable, I am strong, I am unstoppable. At first, it might feel unnatural, even uncomfortable. But if you stick with it, if you commit to it, your mind will start to believe it. And when your mind believes it, you will start to see the evidence unfold in your life. Doors will open, opportunities will appear, and the challenges that once seemed insurmountable will become stepping stones to your next level. But here's the thing, it won't happen overnight. It takes effort, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to yourself. It means catching yourself in those moments of doubt and choosing to replace them with thoughts that empower you. It means refusing to entertain the voice that tells you you're not good enough, and instead amplifying the voice that says, yes, I am. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. There are going to be moments when life tests you, when you feel like the odds are stacked against you, when everything inside you wants to revert back to old habits, old fears, old ways of thinking. But that is the exact moment when you have to push forward. That is the exact moment when you must remind yourself why you started, why you're fighting for this, why you refuse to settle for anything less than the life you were meant to live. Because settling is easy, staying the same is easy, but transformation, that requires you to step into the discomfort, to embrace the uncertainty, to take control of your mind even when it feels impossible. Think of the most successful, powerful, inspiring people in the world. They are not different from you. They don't have some secret formula, some hidden advantage that you lack. The only thing that separates them from those who never reach their potential is their mindset. They have trained themselves to believe in their abilities, to take action in the face of fear, to persist even when they don't see immediate results. They understand that the mind is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs to be exercised and strengthened every single day. And that's exactly what you must do. You must make a decision today that you will no longer be a prisoner of your own thoughts. You must decide that from this moment forward, you will speak to yourself with power, with purpose, with unwavering belief. When you look in the mirror, you will not see someone who is broken or incapable. You will see someone who is strong, resilient, and destined for greatness. And you will remind yourself every single day that your mind is the key to everything you desire. So start today, start right now, choose one thought, one empowering belief that you are going to repeat to yourself until it becomes a part of who you are. Say it in the morning, say it before bed, say it every time doubt creeps in, and then watch as your world transforms. Watch as you rise into the person you were always meant to be. Because when you upgrade your mindset, you upgrade your life. And that is a power that no one can take from you. Motivation is a spark. It ignites a fire inside you, but if there is no fuel to keep it going, that flame will flicker and fade. We all feel it. The rush of excitement when we start something new, a new year, a new goal, a new version of ourselves. We say, this time will be different. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, it is. But then, life happens. The enthusiasm wears off. The excuses creep in. What separates those who succeed from those who fall short isn't some innate talent or a stroke of luck. It's discipline. It's the ability to do what needs to be done long after the initial excitement is gone. It's about showing up over and over again, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one is watching. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. between wanting and having, between who you are and who you have the potential to become. Think about the greatest athletes in the world. They don't just train when they feel good. They don't only push themselves on the days when the weather is perfect, when their energy is high, when they're in the mood. No, they get up early, they practice the same moves thousands of times. They endure pain, they make sacrifice. They understand that success isn't about a single moment of inspiration, it's about relentless repetition. There's a reason the best of the best have rituals, routines, and unwavering commitment. It's because discipline eliminates the need to make a decision every single day. It removes the temptation to negotiate with yourself. The question isn't, do I feel like doing this today? The question is, what needs to be done? And then you do it. It's easy to look at someone successful and assume they must love every part of the process, but the truth is, they don't. There are days when they hate it. There are moments when they want to quit. There are times when they wonder if it's all worth it, but they keep going because discipline isn't about feelings. It's about commitment. It's about saying, I will do this no matter what. You might not be an athlete, but that doesn't mean you can't build the same kind of discipline in your life. Every single person has areas where they struggle to stay consistent. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your personal growth. Whatever it is, you have to stop waiting for motivation and start training your mind like an athlete trains their body. Start small. Set non-negotiable habits. Wake up at the same time every day. Show up to the gym even when you don't feel like it. Read for 10 minutes even when your mind is exhausted. Push yourself to be uncomfortable because comfort is the enemy of growth. If you only do what's easy, you'll only stay where you are. If you want more, you have to be willing to do more. The world is full of people who dream, but very few who follow through. And the difference isn't desire, it's discipline. How many times have you told yourself, this is the year I'll get in shape, or I'll finally start that business, or I'll stop procrastinating? But then something happens. The schedule gets busy, the motivation fades, and before you know it, another year passes, and you're in the same place. The only way to break that cycle is through discipline, through making a decision right now, not tomorrow, not next week, that you will commit, that you will push through the discomfort, that you will not let feelings dictate your actions. Because if you can master discipline, you can master anything. There is no magic formula, no shortcut, no hack. It's just showing up again and again and again. It's putting in the reps, whether it's in the gym, in your work, or in your personal development. It's doing what others aren't willing to do. You have to stop negotiating with yourself. Stop allowing your mind to talk you out of the very things that will change your life. Because it will try. It will whisper, just skip today. You can do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow, the same excuse until weeks have passed and you're back where you started. But if you train yourself to push past that voice, to ignore the urge to quit, you become unstoppable. There's a version of you that's waiting on the other side of discipline. A version that is stronger, more confident, more capable. A version that doesn't break under pressure, that doesn't give in to the easy way out. The only way to meet that version of yourself is to do the work. The good news? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. You just have to show up. And if you do that, if you commit to discipline over motivation, you will build a life that most people only dream about. Your environment dictates your growth. It determines the ceiling of your potential, the depth of your resilience, and the size of your dreams. You can have ambition, you can have talent, you can have a work ethic that puts others to shame. But if you are surrounded by people who think small, who accept mediocrity, who are comfortable making excuses, then you will never become the person you are capable of being. Look around. Who are you spending your time with? Who do you let into your space, your energy, your thoughts? Are they people who challenge you to be better, to think bigger, to push past your own limits? Or are they people who complain about their circumstances, who make excuses, who tell you your dreams are unrealistic? If you want to change your life, you have to change your circle. This is not about cutting people off in some ruthless, cold-hearted way. It's about understanding that growth requires sacrifice. It's about knowing that if you want to reach your highest potential, you cannot afford to be pulled down by those who refuse to rise. And it's not about superiority. It's not about saying I'm better than them. No, it's about saying I refuse to stay stuck. Look at the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the world's most inspiring leaders. They have one thing in common. They surround themselves with people who demand more from them. They don't allow themselves to be the smartest person in the room. They seek out mentors, competitors, allies who push them beyond their limits. They know that iron sharpens iron, that greatness breeds greatness. Think about it. If you're surrounded by people who are constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly reaching for more, what do you think will happen to you? You will rise. You will expand. You will begin to think in terms of possibilities instead of limitations. You will start to believe in yourself on a level you never imagined, because you won't just see success as an abstract concept. You will see it in action. You will witness firsthand what happens when people refuse to settle. And that energy, it's contagious. Now let's flip the script. If you are surrounded by people who are always complaining, always doubting, always waiting for the perfect moment to take action, what do you think will happen? Their energy will seep into you like poison. You might not even realize it at first, but slowly you'll start to hesitate more. You'll start to question yourself. You'll shrink your dreams to fit their comfort zone. And before you know it, you'll be stuck in the same cycle, wondering why you're not making progress. The truth is, we all have a choice. We can either be pulled down by the weight of mediocrity, or we can rise with the momentum of excellence. And that choice starts with the people we surround ourselves with. So ask yourself, who is in your corner? Are they pushing you forward, or are they holding you back? Are they challenging you to be your best, or are they making it easy for you to stay the same? And here's the hard part. If you realize that your current environment is not serving you, you have to be willing to change it. That might mean spending less time with certain people. That might mean seeking out new mentors, new communities, new challenges. It might mean getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because growth is uncomfortable. It forces you to stretch, to let go of what's familiar, to embrace the unknown. But that discomfort, that's where transformation happens. You don't need people who make you feel comfortable. You need people who make you feel capable. You need people who see your potential even when you can't. People who call you out when you're making excuses. People who refuse to let you settle for anything less than what you are capable of. This is your life, your potential, your future. And you are the only one who can decide what kind of energy you allow into your space. Make the choice to surround yourself with people who demand more from you, because when you do, you won't just grow, you'll transform. You'll become the person you were always meant to be. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever possess. Unlike money, power, or possessions, time is the one thing you can never earn back. You can lose everything and rebuild, but once time is gone, it's gone forever. And yet, most people walk through life treating their time as if it's infinite, wasting it on distractions, procrastination, and things that don't serve them. You don't get a second chance at this. The choices you make about how you spend your time will define your future. Think about where you are right now. Look around at your life. Every single thing, your career, your relationships, your health, is a reflection of how you've spent your time up until this moment. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because you're not capable, not talented, or not lucky enough. It's because of how you've been spending your time. The good news, you can change that. You can take control right now. Highly successful people don't have more time than you. They have the same 24 hours, the same 7 days in a week. The difference is how they use it. They eliminate the unnecessary, cut out distractions, and focus relentlessly on what truly matters. They aren't scrolling through their phones mindlessly. They aren't drowning in self-doubt or waiting for motivation to strike. They are executing. Take a look at the most extraordinary minds of our time, people like Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, and Jeff Bezos. They run billion-dollar companies, push boundaries, and still find time to read, learn, exercise, and be present in their personal lives. What's their secret? They respect time. They don't just manage it, they master it. And let's be real. You know what's stealing your time. You know what's holding you back. It's not a mystery. It's in the hours wasted binge watching shows you don't even care about. It's in the minutes lost endlessly scrolling through social media, watching other people live their dreams while yours slip further away. It's in the days spent procrastinating, making excuses, or waiting for the right moment to start. Your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. This is it. If you're waiting for a sign, this is your sign. You have to start auditing your time like your future depends on it, because it does. Every minute wasted is a minute stolen from your potential. Ask yourself this: what are the things that truly matter to you? What are the goals, the dreams, the ambitions you've been putting on hold? Now, look at your daily habits. Are they aligned? Because if they're not, you're lying to yourself. You say you want to be successful, but do you spend your time like a successful person? You say you want to be healthy, but do you make time for exercise and nutrition? You say you want financial freedom, but do you invest time in learning, growing, and making better financial decisions? It's time to get brutally honest. Stop lying to yourself. Stop making excuses. Start cutting the things that don't serve you. Start setting boundaries. That means saying no to things that drain your energy. That means prioritizing tasks that move the needle in your life. That means waking up every day with clarity, knowing exactly what needs to be done and executing on it. And let's talk about distractions, because they are everywhere. Your phone, social media, Netflix, toxic people, self-doubt. These are thieves of your future. You have to eliminate them. If it's not helping you grow, it's holding you back. If it's not fueling your fire, it's putting it out. You cannot afford to waste another second on things that don't serve your purpose. You might be thinking, but I don't have time. Really? You don't have time, or you're just not making time? Because the truth is, you make time for what's important. You do. If you can spend an hour watching TV, you can spend an hour working on your goals. If you can scroll through your phone for 30 minutes, you can use those 30 minutes to learn something that changes your life. You have the time. You just have to take control of it. Here's what you need to do. Start by auditing your time. Track every single thing you do in a day. Be honest. How much time do you spend on things that don't matter? How much time do you spend moving yourself forward? Once you see where your time is going, cut the waste. Schedule your day like your success depends on it, because it does. And remember, this is not about perfection. You don't have to get it right 100% of the time. You just have to start making better choices. You have to be intentional. If you waste less time today than you did yesterday, you're winning. If you choose discipline over distraction just once today, you're winning. It's about progress. Small steps lead to massive change. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop wasting time. Decide today that you are going to master your time, and in doing so, master your life. Decide that you are going to take back control, because when you master your time, you master everything: your future, your success, your happiness. It all starts with what you do with the next 24 hours. What are you going to do with them? Most people see failure as an ending, a permanent mark of defeat, a reason to stop trying. But that's a lie. Failure is never final, unless you decide it is. It's not a tombstone marking the end of your journey. It's a stepping stone pushing you toward your next breakthrough. Every time you stumble, every time you fall short, you are being handed an opportunity to grow, to adapt, to rise stronger than before. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of failure. It's how they respond to it. Think about some of the greatest success stories in history. Walt Disney was fired because his boss said he lacked imagination. Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company before returning to lead Apple to heights no one could have imagined. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Can you even picture a world where those people had believed the words of their doubters and given up? No, because they refused to accept failure as the final word. They understood a fundamental truth. Failure is not a signal to stop. It's a sign to adjust, to learn, and to move forward with even greater determination. And that truth applies to you. This year, you will face moments that test you. You will encounter rejection. You will hear people tell you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. Some of you might already be carrying the weight of past failures, dragging them around like chains that keep you from stepping into your potential. But what if, instead of carrying failure as a burden, you chose to use it as fuel? What if, instead of letting it define you, you allowed it to refine you? Failure is a mirror. It shows you where you need to grow. It points out the weak spots, the gaps in your knowledge, the areas that require more effort. It is one of life's most powerful teachers, but only if you're willing to be its student. Every setback contains a lesson, and if you extract that lesson, you gain an edge. You get wiser, sharper, more resilient. That's the secret of champions. They don't just endure failure, they analyze it, learn from it, and leverage it to come back even stronger. The truth is, fear of failure holds more people back than failure itself ever could. The idea of looking foolish, making a mistake, or falling short paralyzes people before they even try. But if you never try, you guarantee failure. If you never take a risk, you never give yourself a chance to win. The people who accomplish incredible things are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who are willing to fail as many times as it takes to succeed. Ask yourself, how many times are you willing to fail in order to get to where you want to be? Once? Twice? 10 times? 100? Because the truth is, success is often just on the other side of one more failure. The moment most people give up is usually right before their breakthrough. What if you're just one more attempt away from making it? Would you quit now, or would you push through? The world does not belong to the person who never falls. It belongs to the person who gets back up again and again and again. Every champion was once an underdog who refused to stay down. Every successful person was once a beginner who failed more times than they can count. What separates them from everyone else is that they never let those failures stop them. They learned, they adapted, and they kept moving forward, and so can you. But it's not just about enduring failure, it's about transforming it. About using every rejection, every setback, every disappointment as motivation to push harder, dig deeper, and prove to yourself that you are stronger than anything standing in your way. Every time you fail, you have a choice. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it drive you. You can allow it to crush you, or you can allow it to carve you into the person you were meant to become. Let this be the year that you reframe failure in your mind. Let this be the moment that you stop seeing it as something to fear and start recognizing it for what it really is, an invitation to grow. When you face challenges, and you will, don't shrink back. Don't let self-doubt win. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this setback into a setup for something greater? This mindset shift is everything. It's what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who stay stuck. Because the truth is, the people who win in life are not necessarily the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most connected. They are the ones who refuse to quit. The ones who take every setback, every failure, every rejection, and use it as fuel to keep going. You are stronger than your failures. You are capable of rising beyond every obstacle. But you have to decide right now that you will no longer be afraid of failure. You have to make a commitment to yourself that no matter how many times you fall, you will always get back up. That no matter how many times you hear no, you will keep pushing until you get a yes. That no matter how difficult the journey gets, you will never stop moving forward because your future self is waiting for you. The version of you who has achieved everything you've ever dreamed of is out there. But that person is only reachable if you are willing to push through the failures, the setbacks, the struggles. If you are willing to keep going when most people would give up. If you are willing to see failure not as a stop sign, but as a stepping stone to something greater. You are capable of more than you know. You are stronger than you realize. And if you embrace failure instead of fearing it, if you use it as a tool for growth instead of a reason to quit, there is nothing you cannot achieve. So go out there, fall, get back up, fail, learn, try again, and watch as you become unstoppable. Knowledge without action is useless. You can sit in a room filled with books, watch every inspiring documentary, listen to the greatest minds of our time, but if you don't move, if you don't apply, if you don't act, then nothing changes. Nothing. How many people do you know who are full of potential, overflowing with ideas, constantly talking about what they could do, what they should do, what they will do someday? And yet a year passes, 5 years, a decade, and they're in the same place, telling the same story. Don't let that be you. Don't let your dreams wither in the waiting room of your life. The right time is not some mythical date on a distant calendar. It's not after you have more money, more time, more confidence. The right time is now. It's always now. The brutal truth is this: your dreams won't wait for you. They don't put themselves on hold, patiently standing by while you gather the courage to pursue them. Every day you hesitate, every moment you allow doubt to paralyze you, your dream drifts further and further away. You have to chase it. You have to grab hold of it with both hands and refuse to let go. Action is the great separator. It's what distinguishes those who talk from those who achieve. It's what builds empires, transforms bodies, mends relationships, changes the course of history. Every breakthrough, every invention, every revolution began with a single step, a decision, an action. Not an intention, not a wish, action. How many times have you told yourself you'd start tomorrow? That next week you'll wake up early, hit the gym, call that person, write that book, launch that business. But tomorrow comes, and it feels just like today. And so does the next day, and the next. And before you know it, the dream has faded, buried under excuses and procrastination. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack the ability. It's because you've trained yourself to hesitate, to analyze, to overthink. Stop waiting. The conditions will never be perfect. There will always be a reason to delay. Your mind will always find a way to talk you out of it. Ignore it. Move forward anyway. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. Start before you're ready. Take the step even when you're scared. Jump and build your wings on the way down. Think about the greatest moments of your life, the times you felt most alive. Were they moments of hesitation, or were they moments of bold, decisive action? The time you finally took the risk, spoke your truth, stepped outside your comfort zone? That's where growth happens. That's where transformation begins. Success doesn't come to those who wish for it. It comes to those who work for it. The athlete doesn't become a champion by imagining themselves on the podium. They show up day after day, pushing through exhaustion, rejection, failure, doubt. The entrepreneur doesn't build an empire by sitting on ideas. They take the leap, make the calls, create the product, face the criticism, refine and adjust, again and again and again. This isn't about motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's unreliable. It fades as soon as discomfort appears. What you need is discipline, commitment, a relentless, unbreakable determination to take action no matter what. To get up when you don't feel like it. To push forward when everything in you screams to quit. To silence the voice that says, not yet, maybe later. It's time to stop negotiating with yourself. Stop letting excuses dictate your future. Stop waiting for permission, for reassurance, for certainty. You don't need a sign. You are the sign. The fact that you're here, that you're breathing, that you have a dream in your heart, that's all the proof you need that you're meant to go after it. The world is not changed by those who wait. It is changed by those who do. It is shaped by the risk takers, the action takers, the relentless, the ones who refuse to settle. Be one of them. Make the decision right now, that today is the day you begin, that today is the day you move. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more hesitation. This is your moment. Take it. 2025 is yours for the taking, but no one will hand you the life you want. You have to build it. And building requires effort, commitment, and belief. So let me ask you, who will you be in 1 year? The person who wishes for a better life or the person who works for it? The choice is yours. But make no mistake, your future starts right now. Let's go rebuild ourselves. Let's make 2025 the year we transform.